Hello?
Hi, Kendra.
Oh, it's the sex goddess.
Hi, Kendra. I'm so
This
happy.
your first time on YouTube? It's been a long time.
Yeah, I really appreciate you encouraging me to come back and do an update. But things are
I
really,
encourage you to come back to do an update.
yeah, in the comments, you told me, I think it was like, you said that, I think it was your 2-year season or something. You featured my video and you said, give us an update. And I wanted to do it, but
That was a year ago.
last year, yeah.
So it
Yeah.
took you a year to come back for an update?
I kept trying, but I couldn't get on. I tried many times.
Okay, okay. Well, you look good as always.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So do you.
Okay, I remember you vividly. You are the sex goddess that is a manifester. So did
Yeah.
you manifest this man in the last year?
Um, I met many positive, very quality people, and one is a close friend of mine. Um, I am entertaining someone who said that they wanted to go through 4 seasons with me and get to know me because that's kind of like my standard of me meeting men. Because of my work, I want them to take the time, get to know me first. So I'm excited about that, but I'm not exclusive yet because I told the person I want to start as friends and as in the friendship take our time and discover if I'm really what they want and for me to do the same thing.
Do you want an exclusive relationship?
I do, yeah.
You do. Okay, so for those who are not familiar with you, let's start from the top. What's
Okay.
your name?
My name is Parrish Blair.
Parrish, and where are you calling us from?
Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas, and you are a sex goddess, correct?
Yes.
And that is your job.
Yes, it is.
Do you want to explain your job description for those who might be curious?
Yes, I call myself a sex goddess because I use my sexual energy to connect with God. And and when I say that, what I mean is if I'm praying for something or I want to manifest something like you have on a vision board, I go into that space when I'm being sexual with someone or if I'm masturbating. I think about what I'm praying about, like I already have it. I'm enjoying the experience in my sexual space, but I'm also telling myself I'm already blessed with what I want. So I haven't had sex still. It's been now 2 years. But I still
This
keep.
is so odd to us. How are you a sex goddess that doesn't have sex?
I do have sex. I have a lot of sex with myself, and I'm building up the vibration of when I'm having sex with myself. I'm thinking about how the man's going to be in my life. Just the simple things, the little things, the regular things like rubbing my back while I'm in the kitchen or opening up the door when I'm getting out of the grocery. Like those are the things that I'm masturbating to or thinking about when I'm being sexual. And the reason why I'm that way is because I really am a sex goddess. This is my work. So since I've spent so much time building it and elevating and clearing out all the negative stuff I have about sex, I want a man that matches that. So I'm willing to be patient. I love sex. And I shared all that with you the last time, but I really am serious. So I know I attracted a lot of men that were like, oh, okay, I want to sign up. But I think they were so respectful and understood that I know what I'm saying, but I'm coming from an honest place. So especially after they saw my page, so a lot of them were like, okay, you're too out there for me. And I appreciated them being honest. So
How old are you again, Parrish?
I just turned 52. I was blowing up your phone on my birthday. I was like, oh my gosh,
When
that'd be
was your birthday this year?
January 14th.
Oh, because you came on your birthday last
Yeah.
year. Yes. Oh, we missed your birthday. Okay, 52. All right, so she's 52. All right, so Paris, Houston, Texas, a sex goddess, 52. You do have children, right?
Yes, I do. And I was going to ask you, well, I mean, I know it has to be like everybody does it, but when my daughter saw, because, I had dinner with my daughter and then I came and Spirit told me to go on your show. And when she saw like, oh, these aren't creeps and these are nice people. And she saw how I was able to handle some of the situations. She was like, do you think I should try to do that? And I was like, I wish she would because I wasn't expecting the worst, but I didn't know what to expect. But you really have a lot of good men that are really looking for love. And I wasn't the right fit for them. But it was just so refreshing as a Black woman to see how many really good Black men that are single and not playing games and really genuinely looking for not sex, they're looking for feminine energy or woman. So I was like, I want my daughter to experience that because she hasn't been dating a lot. And
Okay,
I
we'll make that happen at some point. But let me ask you this: if all these great men reached out to you, why were none of them suitable for you?
Some wanted me to teach them. Some were, a lot were in the DM. At first, I was very overwhelmed. I reached out to you in the DM because I was like, I wonder if you have like something to help people. Like, if there's all these people reaching out and I genuinely am looking, I don't know where to start. I'm an introverted person. So if they weren't really speaking in full sentences and things like that, I didn't keep exploring it. And the ones that I did explore, some of them were young, you know, or they were the age that, you know, I don't want to go any younger than like maybe mid or late 40s, but that I noticed that they still want to have children. I can't have children, you know, and also noticed that, yeah, you're intrigued by me, but I could see if I really want to love you, I'm not the kind of woman that makes you feel secure to protect and provide for. So I know you're not the match because I've been practicing for the match.
You're practicing for the match. Okay. All right. Well, let's do it, Paris. What kind of man you looking for?
I'm looking for a mature person, not specifically about the age, but a mature minded person, an open minded person, a very sexual person, someone who has had some experience being with a woman like me. So I don't have to, you know, get with someone and teach them, someone who's used to this kind of feminine
I don't
energy.
think anybody's been with a woman like you, Paris.
Well, I hope that's a positive thing, but
Yeah, I mean, you are a lot. You're not. I don't think you're the average woman. So I
but
don't think that.
I'm
Okay.
I'm a simple woman. I might present a certain way, but this is a part of me too. But I'm basically out in nature. I love to cook. I'm all about family. I'm totally comfortable telling my truth. I'm not ashamed of myself. I'm not a judgmental person. You know, all of the things I already shared before. I'm that too. So I want someone who can see that, and I'm not mad at the men who don't, because they're just not my one. And I believe in sisterhood, so I don't break brothers down or play with them and flirt with them and all that, because that brother belongs to another sister. So I just, you
Oh,
know,
so a lot of men that are in relationships reach out to you.
no, what I mean is he's not the guy for, he's sexy, handsome, successful, open-minded, but I could tell I'm not his queen. I'm not his goddess. So instead of dragging him on and going out on dates with him and sending him pussy pics and all that, when I know this is not the guy for me, I can refrain from that.
Okay, so let's continue. What else qualities you desire?
Um, someone who's a manifester, someone who's confident in the way that they use their tongue, in the way that they speak. They know if they're saying something, they really mean it, and they're going to bring that to fruition. Someone who has good taste in music, who appreciates family, who loves a free spirited woman. Yeah, and I love brown men. You know, I love men that look like my father, that look like my grandfather.
Okay, what's some deal breakers for you?
Um, if I manifest someone who's showing me the older reflection of myself, the somebody who is making me feel less than the good that I already have in my life, you know, then I know that's a deal breaker.
Okay. Does he have to look a certain way?
Uh yeah, I think I mentioned to you before that I have eclectic taste, so it's the inside and the outside of the man. So I usually like the men that a lot of women overlook. You know, that I don't do it on purpose, but that's who I attract. But a handsome man, but he's handsome to me, so I can't really describe exactly what that would look like because I have an eclectic taste in men.
Okay. I don't think we had it back then, but we have something now called the Kendra Cam.
I
So that's
know.
when we see your full body.
Okay. All right. Let me.
You look great for 52.
Oh,
Okay, you look good. This is the sex goddess, Parrish. All right. So, Parrish, does the guy have to make a certain amount of money?
um, I want him to be where he desires to be financially, and you know we can manifest money together. That's how I feel.
Okay. And when was your last relationship?
My last relationship was 2013.
2013. And the last time you had sex, you said was 2 years ago?
2020.
And what is the reason again you're not having sex right now? You're not gonna have sex again until you're in a committed relationship?
Well, the way I tell the people is like that are interested in me is I want them to go through 4 seasons with me first. And if sometimes I like you, so you want me to wait a year to have sex with you? And I'm like, well, if you hear it that way, I already know you're not the brother for me, but I'm not offended. But it's not that you wait a year, because sometimes it's January and you look up, it's June and the year is almost over. I literally mean, go through the seasons with me. Like, you appreciate seasons more than you do a year. You get to look at the seasons change, the temperature, the trees, the different birds and all the things you see. I'm saying go through seasons with me, take your time and explore the nuances. And if somebody's like, okay, you too complicated, then I know that it's okay. I get it. I know I am, but I'm worth it. I really
Ooh,
am.
she says she's really worth it. What's the age range you would date? Let's be clear.
Um, a healthy, vibrant, very youthfully minded, 60-plus-year-old.
So want a 60-plus-year-old man. You just said 40s, no?
As and then younger, I would say mid, but more comfortably late 40s would be the youngest. Yeah,
So,
that.
so late 40s to the 60s?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. And why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
Can I say all the things, Kendra? Because
Yeah,
I
okay.
hear me. Okay.
Say,
All the good things that I said a few minutes ago about who I am as a real woman, but I want to sell the sex goddess in me to the man who really values that, a woman who knows how to adore you, a woman who knows how to heal you, who can support you, who loves sex. But I love sex for many different reasons. And I know men sometimes get deprived of that once they become a husband. It's the opposite for me. It's going to go up. You get rewarded with blowjobs when you do the right thing. You get rewarded with, the things that men, really desire, the feminine energy. And I got a lot of that.
and he also has to be okay with you teaching this to other people, correct?
Absolutely, but that goes without saying. If it's complicated, I don't. I adore men. I really appreciate men because I work with them, and if I don't make him feel comfortable, I don't want to be his queen. I want a man who can relax and say, "This is who I want to be with. I feel her. I get her, and I love seeing her grow, and I want to feel that same way about him." If it's complicated, and it just is push and pull, I don't want that for him, and I don't want that for myself.
Right. Let me ask you this because I don't really know too much about your job description. Does your job description entail you having sex with other men and women at times?
Um, well, no. Well, if you consider mutual masturbation, then yes, that it does. The only time I was actually directly sexual with someone is when I taught a seminar called "How to Give a BJ with a Heart Full of Gratitude." But now, because I've thought about it, it's like I enjoyed that seminar. It got very popular because people loved it. Wasn't about how to teach, it wasn't teaching women how to give a good blowjob. It was teaching them how to love giving it so that they initiate, and it's not something that they feel like they have to do. They like it because it makes them orgasmic. So then I really thought about that, and I'm like, do I want to make money and help other women with their sex, or do I want my own sex? And can I find another way to do this? And then Spirit told me, get a mannequin. And so I'm adjusting my space, not that I'm doing less, but I want to make it easy because I don't value my work more than I do loving someone. Because
Just to understand, in this seminar, you had to actually give a blowjob as an example for the class.
yes, I did.
Okay. Okay. So now you say you
But
don't.
it was more so showing how I healed him. I was literally with other couples that were watching, and I was showing them how to use the BJ to help your man make more money, to help him get rid of stress, to help him get through grief. So it wasn't really like, I know that my work sounds a certain way, but I really am coming from a really solid place, and it's valuable to marriages. That's why I'm excited now. I've helped so many people in their marriage, and so many single people, single men that go off and marry other women. I'm like, okay, I want my turn now. I got all this juicy information. I want to use it in my own sex life and my own love life.
Have you ever been married?
I have. I was married twice.
Okay. And why did each marriage end?
The first marriage ended when I was in my early 30s and I was leaving religion. I used to be a Jehovah's Witness and I wasn't feeling it was authentic for me anymore. And then the second marriage ended after I had a death experience and I came back to life. It changed me spiritually. And my pussy felt different. And my husband kept telling me, I want you to go back to who you are. And I didn't know the sex goddess part happened. I didn't understand that. And so he said, you know, go back to the way you were, or I would rather be divorced. And so I couldn't go back. So we ended
Pierce,
up.
what do you mean that you died and came back?
Oh, that's right. We didn't talk about that. Well, in 2010, I went in for a hysterectomy. I didn't know that I was bleeding so heavily in my cycles. And I always try to encourage sisters, you know, pay attention to that. You know, I'm so glad I got a chance to live again. But I went into my gynecologist and she kept telling me, well, you might need to look at a hysterectomy. And I didn't want that. And then one day I just felt like something's happening, something's wrong. I don't feel like life is in my body. And then when I went in, they were like, you have no blood, you need an emergency hysterectomy. And so I went in, and I had complications. And then I went in for a third surgery. And in that surgery, I tasted death. And I remember looking at myself in the bed, and my eyes were closed, and I was disoriented because I'm like, how could I thought I was looking in a mirror. And then when my eyes were closed, I heard myself say it. I don't know how I said it because I wasn't in my body, but I said, how can I see myself? Why are my eyes closed? And then I was a part of everything, and it felt like love and light and peace. And I knew if I don't stop vibrating this way, I'm not going to be able to get back in my body again. And so when I stopped, it was like a light that told me the reason why you lost your womb is because you won't give birth to your inspirations. You keep holding on to them, waiting, and you don't think you're worthy. So then you work on other people. And so the second reason is I'm loving everybody else first instead of myself. And then it told me if I just listen to that voice within, it's always right, and it's leading me to the life of my dreams. So I don't know how I was able to talk, but I said if I could live again and love my kids longer, I'll do those three things. I'll do whatever spirit tells me. So that's why I had to, my husband didn't believe me at first, but years later, he dated some women and they said, I follow her. I've been following her. She helps me. And so he's like, you know, I respect that you had to make the choice, and I got over my pain and my anger. But yeah, the dying and coming back to life is something that's what changed me to where even though I'm introverted and I would normally not be talking about all the sexy stuff that I do in my personal life, when spirit said do it, I did it. And I didn't know, like I told you, it's turning into a tour, and all these people, some people are mad and disgusted and angry, and some people are saying speak your, you know, say your shit. And they.
So you know what? I think we did discuss this on the first time you were on the show because when you were telling the story, I think I remember the hysterectomy part. So yes, you did share it
Yeah,
before.
I wanted,
Okay.
I
So
wanted
here's yes.
I just want to say this really quick, because I know I got to go. But I wanted to tell you that there were multiple people that said they didn't like the way you talked to me on that live, and I was like, I feel the opposite because you have to do your job, and I'm you weren't ready for me, but I just felt like you were so kind to let me say that piece that I said at the end, and I just really appreciate you. That I was nervous, I might not have seen that way, but I'm very introverted, and that's the first voice activated thing that I said, I'm ready for love. And I did it live. And you helped me do it by, I don't know if you were doing it on purpose, but by being lighthearted about it. So I just appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. And for the people that hit you up that said they didn't like the way I talked to you, promptly kiss my ass, and I could teach a seminar to you on how to kiss my ass if you need lessons. She got a sex seminar. I got a kiss my ass seminar. If you ever need to sign up, it would be free of charge. I won't even charge you shit. Just show up and I will show you properly how to do it. For those that hit up Paris to tell her. Now, I know you didn't like that. That was intentional for you not to like. Back to you, honey. Okay, let's do it, Paris, now.
Okay.
Paris, Houston, Texas,
Hmm.
sex goddess. This a strong man got to deal with you, and that's strong, confidence, knows who he is, type of man can only handle a woman like you. So how can that guy reach out to you?
I think the better place is on, I believe that it's on Instagram, but I'm a little bit overwhelmed with how that inbox builds up. And I don't know if you have any suggestions to how to go through the people.
I have no suggestions. I don't check my DMs.
Okay.
All I do is I put you out there, and then you got to deal with the raft of the. And I know men are going to be reaching out to you all kinds of ways. So it's how do you want to do it? You want to do your DMs again, your Instagram?
I'm not prepared to do any other way, but I appreciate you, Kendra. Thank you so much.
Well, wait, yeah, you got to give them your Instagram. Now
Oh,
everybody
I'm
knows it.
sorry. It's Sexy Spirit TV.
Sexy
Uh huh.
Spirits TV or Instagram, right?
Uh huh.
Okay. So this is Sexy Spirit TV on Instagram. I'm still learning how to do these signs, but you talked about blowjobs. I think this guy, I don't know how to show it on, how do I show it on the screen? Is there a way to show it on the screen when somebody sends
I'm
these
not,
super chats?
I'm
They
new.
tell me about, I know how to do it. But Thomas B paid $10 for me to tell you he wants a money making BJ. I don't know what that means.
I'm sure he does.
We sure that class is over though, correct?
I teach it, but I don't teach it by doing that to anyone. And my man will understand completely how that's done. So if that's something that's interested, the spirit comes before the flesh. So approach my spirit, and perhaps you'll understand what that's about.
Okay, got you. So James Townsend, I know you sent your $10 in, but that wasn't enough, child. All right, one more time. It's Sexy Spirit TV. This is Pirish, Houston, Texas. Sex Goddess 52, manifesting her husband. So keep me posted how it goes. Happy birthday again. So you were 51 last year?
I was 51. And then also my daughter's name, I know you've got thousands of names, but her name is Brooke. And I
Okay.
have an opportunity to find love as well.
Okay. Well, shout outs to Brooke. We'll try to get you on.
All
All right,
right.
bye, bye, Pirish, boo. Ooh, yeah.